Hello, and welcome back to the channel, fellow collectors and coin enthusiasts. If you're someone who loves discovering the hidden stories behind everyday coins, or if you're just starting your coin collecting journey, you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll be exploring a fascinating and often overlooked piece of modern Australian currency, the 10-cent coin from the year 2007. On the surface, this coin may appear to be just another piece of loose change. But as with many coins in circulation today, there's more to it than meets the eye. From its design to its production, from mintage numbers to current collector interest, and finally, its actual value in today's market. This video covers it all. Let's start by taking a closer look at the design of the 2007 Australian 10-cent coin. On the obverse, or the front side, you'll see the familiar effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, which is a staple on all Australian coins minted during her reign. The particular portrait used on the 2007 version was designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a well-known British sculptor. This portrait replaced the earlier Raphael Makhlouf design and first appeared on Australian coins in 1999. Rank Broadley's design was notable for its more realistic and mature depiction of the Queen, and it remained in use for 2 full decades. You can spot the initials IRB just below the neckline, a small but crucial detail for collectors who pay close attention to die varieties and subtle differences. Now turning over to the reverse of the coin, we see a wonderfully intricate image of the superb lyrebird, an iconic Australian species known for its elaborate tail feathers and uncanny ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds. This beautiful and artistic depiction was created by the talented designer Stuart Devlin, who also served as the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen. Devlin's work on Australia's decimal coin series remains one of the most respected contributions to modern numismatic art. The lyrebird design has become synonymous with the 10-cent coin in Australia since decimalisation in 1966. And it's one of the most recognizable reverse designs in Australian currency. Let's dive into some of the technical specs. The 10-cent coin from 2007, like others in the same denomination, is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that distinct silver-like appearance. The coin weighs exactly 65 grams, has a diameter of 23.6 millimeters, and features a reeded edge, which is the grooved edge often used to help visually impaired users distinguish between coin types. These physical characteristics haven't changed much over the years, which makes condition and rarity key when it comes to determining market value. Now here's an important fact for collectors. The mintage of the 2007 10-cent coin was quite high, with more than 70 million coins produced by the Royal Australian Mint for general circulation. Due to this large quantity, the coin is generally not rare in everyday circulated condition. However, as we often see in the world of numismatics, condition is everything. A coin that's been through years of wear and tear might only be worth its face value, 10 Australian cents, or approximately 7 US cents. But a coin that's been well preserved, kept in a collection, or even stored in an original mint roll could be worth significantly more. So, how much is the 2007 Australian 10-cent coin worth in good condition today? Let's define what good condition means in the coin collecting world. In numismatics, a coin in good condition typically has light wear. All major design elements are still visible, and there are no heavy scratches or corrosion. Based on current collector demand and recent online sales data, a 2007 10-cent coin in good condition can sell for about $0.25 to $1. In very fine to extremely fine condition, it might fetch around $1.50, especially if it's part of a themed collection or offered to the right buyer. And if you have an uncirculated version, or one that has been professionally graded as MS65 or higher, its value can climb to around $2 to $5 or more, depending on the quality and the market demand at the time. But here's where things can get interesting. Some rare error coins from the 2007 10-cent series have surfaced over the years. These include off-center strikes, die cracks, clip planchets, and even double rim errors. These types of minting mistakes make a coin significantly more desirable to collectors, and prices can range from $10 to over $50. Depending on how dramatic the error is and how many such coins are known to exist. If you think you have a coin like this, consider taking it to a professional coin dealer or grading service for evaluation. You might just be sitting on a small treasure. Let's also take a moment to consider why people collect modern coins, like the 2007 Australian 10-cent piece. Many collectors are drawn to the artistic value, while others enjoy building complete year sets. Some focus on coin varieties, others on mint errors, and many look to preserve current coins now in the hope that they'll become rare and valuable in the future. As the years go by and more of these coins are lost, damaged, or taken out of circulation, their value, especially in higher grades, can only increase. What should you do if you have one of these coins? First, check its condition. If it's heavily circulated and worn down, it may not fetch more than face value. But if it's in relatively clean, undamaged condition, and especially if it's from a mint set or looks nearly uncirculated, it might be worth setting aside or even getting graded. You never know what it could be worth in the next 10, 20, or even 50 years. To wrap up, while the 2007 Australian 10-cent coin is not currently considered rare, it's a great piece for beginner collectors and a cornerstone for anyone building a modern Australian coin collection. Its elegant design, historical context, and potential for minor varieties or errors make it a coin worth looking at more closely. And let's not forget, every valuable coin starts out as just loose change. What matters most is recognizing potential when you see it. Thanks so much for joining me today. Next up, the 1998 Australian 10-cent coin. It's one of those everyday coins that many people overlook, yet it's a small piece of Australia's rich numismatic history. Whether you're just curious about its worth or you're a serious collector building a full decimal set, you'll want to stick around. We'll explore this coin's fascinating design, its mintage figures, any known errors, and most importantly, how much it's worth in today's collector's market, especially if you have one in good condition. Let's start by taking a closer look at the obverse of the coin, which features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II. Created by British sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. His portrait of the Queen was introduced in 1999, but since this is a 1998 coin, we're actually looking at the Raphael Makhlouf portrait. This earlier design shows the Queen wearing the royal diadem, and it remained in use on Australian coins from 1985 until the transition to Rank Broadley's portrait. The Makhlouf effigy is more stylized and regal, making it instantly recognizable to longtime collectors. Flip the coin over to the reverse, and you'll find one of the most beautiful and iconic coin designs in Australian currency, the superb lyrebird. This intricate image was designed by Stuart Devlin, a renowned Australian goldsmith and artist, who was also appointed as the official jeweler to the Queen. The lyrebird, native to Australia, is not just known for its stunning tail feathers, but also for its remarkable ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds. Devlin's design captures this magnificent bird mid-display, tail fanned in full glory. It's a fitting representation of Australia's unique wildlife and artistry. Now let's talk numbers. The 1998 10-cent coin was minted by the Royal Australia Mint, and a total of approximately 106 million were produced for circulation. That's a fairly high mintage, which means the coin isn't considered rare in average circulated condition. But as seasoned collectors know, rarity isn't the only factor that determines value. The condition of the coin, its grade, can make all the difference. A heavily worn coin is likely to be worth only face value, but a well-preserved example in good or very fine condition can attract attention from collectors, especially those looking to complete year sets or fine coins with unique traits like die varieties or errors. So how do you know if your 1998 10-cent coin is in good condition? In numismatics, good typically means a coin still retains most of its major design details, even though it shows signs of light wear. The Queen's features should be visible, the lyrebird's feathers distinct, and the edges well-defined. Coins with deep scratches, corrosion, or major dings will not be considered collectible. If your coin meets the good standard, it could fetch around $0, 25 to 0 US dollars and 75 cents on the secondary market. If it's in very fine to extremely fine condition, that value can climb up to $1 or more, especially if sold to the right buyer or as part of a match set. Now here's where things get interesting. Error coins from 1998 have occasionally been reported. These include off-center strikes, die cracks, double rims, and clipped planchets, all of which can greatly increase a coin's value. An error coin from 1998 could be worth anywhere from $10 to over 100 US dollars, depending on the severity and uniqueness of the flaw. If you suspect you have a 1998 10-cent coin with an unusual mint error, it might be worth getting it professionally evaluated or graded by a reputable third-party service. What about proof and mint sets from 1998? The Royal Australian Mint also released collectors' sets that included a pristine version of the 10-cent coin. These coins were struck with extra care and often appear in near-perfect condition. A proof 1998 10-cent coin can easily sell for $5 to 10 US dollars, or even more if it's graded by NGC or PCGS with a high mint state MS or proof designation. Even though this coin isn't considered rare by mintage alone, it still holds value for collectors, especially those interested in completing full decimal year sets, those seeking specific designs, or collectors focusing on coins from the final years of Queen Elizabeth II's use of the Maklauf portrait. As we move forward in history and coins from this era disappear from circulation or become damaged beyond recognition, higher grade examples will naturally become harder to find, and that can mean rising value in the future. So what should you do if you find a 1998 Australian 10-cent coin in your possession? First, inspect it closely. Look at the level of detail on the Queen's face and the lyrebird's tail. Are the designs crisp or worn down? Is the surface smooth or covered in nicks and scratches? If it's in better than average condition, it's worth holding on to. You may even want to check online marketplaces or auction listings to see what similar coins are currently selling for, and you'll quickly notice that condition makes a huge difference in price. To wrap things up, the 1998 Australian 10-cent coin is a beautiful and historically rich piece of everyday currency. While it's not particularly rare in circulated form, coins in good condition still have collector interest and modest market value. For those lucky enough to find error versions or uncirculated examples, the potential for value is even greater. So check your change, look through your old coin jars, and pay attention to the details. You never know what kind of numismatic treasure you might find right under your nose. Next up, the 1999 Australian 10-cent coin. But don't let its small size fool you. This coin has a story to tell, and if it's in good condition, it might be worth more than just face value in today's market. So let's dive in and take a closer look at this fascinating piece of Aussie currency. Let's begin with the coin's design, starting on the obverse, which in 1999 saw a major change. This was the first year that the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley appeared on Australian coins. Rank Broadley's portrait replaced the previous design by Raphael Maklauf and brought a more realistic and mature depiction of the Queen. Unlike the more stylized Maklauf design, this newer effigy captured the Queen in a more natural, unembellished style, making it a historic shift in Australia's coinage. That makes the 1999 coins significant to collectors, as they represent a turning point in modern Australian numismatics. Now turning to the reverse side, we have one of the most beloved designs in Australia's decimal coinage, the superb lyrebird. This intricate and beautiful artwork was created by master designer Stuart Devlin, whose work can be found on most Australian coins introduced after decimalization in 1966. The lyrebird, known for its magnificent tail and ability to mimic sounds, is a fitting symbol of Australia's unique wildlife. The level of detail in its tail feathers and pose make this design stand out, even after decades of circulation. It's no wonder that collectors around the world admire it. Moving on to the mintage figures, the Royal Australian Mint produced approximately 74 1,010,000 coins in 1999. While that number isn't low enough to make the coin rare by default, it does make it slightly more collectible than coins from other high mintage years. But here's where condition comes into play. Most of the coins struck in 1999 were put straight into circulation, and over time, they naturally experienced wear and tear. If you've managed to find a 1999 10-cent coin in good condition, meaning the details on the queen's face and the lyrebird's tail are still clear, and the edges are not heavily worn, then you might have something worth holding on to. In the collector's market today, a 1999 10-cent coin in good condition, also known as fine to very fine condition, typically sells for around $0. 25 to 60 cents USD. That's not a fortune, but it's still more than face value. If your coin is in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, it could be worth $1 to $3, and sometimes more, especially if sold as part of a complete year set or to a collector looking for that specific year. And if you're lucky enough to have a coin that's been graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC with a high mint state grade, it could fetch $5 to $10 or more, depending on the buyer. Now let's talk about something that could really increase the value of your 1999 coin: mint errors. While no widely known or officially cataloged major errors exist for the 1999 10-cent coin, error coins can occur in any year. Look out for signs like off-center strikes, double die errors, clipped planchets, or die cracks. If you find anything like this, don't ignore it. Error coins can be incredibly collectible. And even a small anomaly can increase the coin's value significantly, sometimes to $20, $50, or even over $100, depending on the rarity and severity of the error. Now what about proof or mint sets? In 1999, the Royal Australian Mint released collector sets that included a specially struck 10-cent coin in brilliant uncirculated or proof condition. These coins were never intended for general circulation and were struck using polished dies and planchets, giving them a mirror-like finish. A proof 1999 10-cent coin from one of these sets can easily sell for $5 to $15, and in some cases even higher if graded. If you find one of these in pristine condition in your collection, make sure to keep it protected in a capsule or album. Another reason the 1999 10-cent coin is notable to collectors is because of its historical timing. Not only was it the first year with a rank broadly portrait of the Queen, but it also came at the edge of a new millennium, a time of transition and reflection. That makes this coin particularly appealing for collectors building millennial-era sets or tracking the evolution of Australia's currency designs across decades. To wrap up, the 1999 Australian 10-cent coin may seem like just another common coin at first glance, but if you take the time to examine its design, historical significance, and condition, you'll discover it has more to offer than meets the eye. While it's not rare in circulated form, coins in better grades, those with errors, or those from collector sets, can definitely command a higher price. And for the dedicated numismatist, having one in your collection helps fill in an important chapter in Australia's coin history. So next time you come across a 10-cent coin dated 1999, don't just toss it in your pocket. Take a moment to examine its detail, look for any unique traits, and consider its place in your collection. Who knows, that little coin might be worth more than 10 cents. Next up, the 2006 Australian 10-cent coin. While it may seem like just another small silver coin at first glance, it carries a rich blend of design artistry, national symbolism, and collector interest. And who knows, if you have one in good condition, it might be worth more than you think. So let's dive in and uncover the story behind this coin and how much it could fetch in today's market. Let's begin with the design that on the obverse side of the 2006 Australian 10-cent coin, we find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank Broadley. This design had been in use since 1999 and continued through the 2000s, and what's striking about this particular effigy is its realism. Rank Broadley aimed for a more mature and dignified representation of the Queen. as opposed to the more stylized designs of earlier years. His initials, IRB, can be found just below the Queen's neck, a signature detail for coin collectors. Now let's flip the coin and talk about the reverse side, which features the famous lyrebird, one of Australia's most iconic and extraordinary native birds. This design was created by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen. The lyrebird, known for its spectacular tail feathers and incredible mimicry, symbolizes the richness and uniqueness of Australian wildlife. The design is not only elegant but deeply detailed, from the curling tail plumes to the textured background. This artwork stands out even after decades of use. It's no wonder the 10-cent coin has remained visually unchanged since 1966. In terms of mintage, the Royal Australian Mint produced around 59 4 million 10-cent coins in 2006. This number is fairly typical for a standard circulation year, meaning the coin isn't considered rare. However, rarity is only part of the equation. Condition matters a lot. That a 2006 10-cent coin that has been circulated in shows where is likely still worth just its face value. But if you find one in good condition, meaning the designs are still clear, there's minimal damage, and the luster remains, it can be worth more than 10 cents, especially to collectors trying to complete year sets or seeking high-quality pieces. So how much is it worth in today's market? Well, for a 2006 10-cent coin in good condition, the value typically ranges between $0.25 to $0.60 USD. If a coin is in extremely fine or almost uncirculated condition, you might get $1 to $2 for it. And coins in brilliant uncirculated or mint state MS condition, especially those graded by services like PCGS or NGC, could sell for $3 to $5 or more, depending on the demand among collectors at the time. There's also something else to look out for: mint errors. While 2006 wasn't a major year for known error coins in the 10-cent denomination, that doesn't mean they don't exist. Errors like off-center strikes, cuds, die cracks, or double dies can occur in any year. If you find a 2006 coin with one of these unusual features, it could be worth significantly more, sometimes as much as $10 to $50 or more. Depending on the type and severity of the error, SO always check both sides carefully. Sometimes value hides in the details. Another interesting aspect to consider is whether your 2006 coin came from a mint or proof set. The Royal Australian Mint often issues annual coin sets for collectors, and the coins in those sets are struck with extra care, often on polished dies. A proof version of the 2006 10-cent coin, which has a mirror-like finish and frosted designs, could sell for $5 to $10 or more, depending on its condition and whether it's still housed in its original packaging. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, you might be asking, why do people pay more for these coins if they're still so common? The answer lies in numismatic value, which takes into account history, condition, design, and collectability. Some collectors like to gather one coin from every year or from every monarch. Others focus on finding pristine coins from circulation or completing entire mint sets. That's why even a common coin like the 2006 10-cent can hold more value than its face amount, if it meets the right criteria. To sum things up, the 2006 Australian 10-cent coin may not be incredibly rare, but its classic lyrebird design, historical context, and potential for higher grade condition or mint errors make it a valuable piece for beginner and seasoned collectors alike. In good condition, it's worth watching, and in excellent condition, it's worth keeping. Whether you're just starting your collection or adding another piece to your set, this coin is a great example of how beauty and value can come in small packages. Next up, the 2005 Australian 10-cent piece. This small silver-colored coin may be easy to overlook, but it carries a story woven into Australia's currency history, full of intricate design, monarchic symbolism, and collector value. I end this episode. We'll dive deep into the origins, design details, mintage numbers, grading, and of course, the current market value of this coin in good condition, all measured in today's US dollar value. So grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's uncover the hidden worth of the 2005 10-cent coin. Part 1. The history and context of the 10-cent coin. The Australian 10-cent coin was introduced in 1966, the same year Australia transitioned from the pound to the dollar in a massive currency overhaul. Since then, the 10-cent coin has remained an essential part of daily transactions. The reverse design has never changed, and that's something rare in world coins. Fast forward to 2005, a year that marked nearly 40 years of decimal currency in Australia. Although no commemorative 10-cent coin was released that year, the 2005 issue still holds significance for collectors building complete year sets or those interested in coins minted during the early 2000s, a period of transition in portraiture and minting technology. Part 2. Obverse design, Queen Elizabeth II. Let's begin with the obverse, or head side, of the coin. It features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, a British sculptor whose initials, IRB, appeared just beneath the Queen's neckline. This portrait was introduced in 1999 and used up to 2019. Rank Broadley's effigy is notable for its realism and detail, reflecting a more mature and dignified image of the Queen. It replaced the earlier Raphael Makhlouf portrait and was designed to appear more lifelike and less stylized. This change in portraiture marked a shift in how monarchs were represented on coinage and adds to the historical value of coins minted during this period, including the 2005 10-cent piece. Part 3. Reverse design, the lyrebird. The reverse of the 10-cent coin is perhaps even more iconic. Designed by Stuart Devlin, the official goldsmith and jeweler to the Queen, this side of the coin features the majestic superb lyrebird, a native Australian species known for its incredible mimicry and elaborate tail feathers. The bird is portrayed mid-display, with its ornate plumage fanned out in a beautiful curve that wraps across the surface of the coin. This design has remained unchanged since the coin's first issue in 1966, and its elegance has stood the test of time. Even today, coin collectors around the world admire the lyrebird's detailed depiction, making every 10-cent coin, including the 2005 version, a miniature piece of wildlife art. Part 4. Mintage figures and availability. Now let's talk numbers. In 2005, the Royal Australian Mint produced approximately 76 million 10-cent coins for general circulation. While this is a fairly high number and does not make the coin particularly rare in terms of mintage, it's important to remember that the majority of these coins have since been heavily circulated. Many are now scratched, worn, or damaged, and very few remain in pristine condition. That's why collectors place higher value on coins in good condition or better, especially those with sharp details, original luster, and no major blemishes. Part 5. What does good condition mean? You might be wondering, what exactly is considered good condition? In numismatics, a coin in good condition typically shows all the major design features clearly, but will have some wear on high points and surfaces. The Queen's hair and the lyrebird's tail feathers should still be visible in fair detail. A coin in very fine to extremely fine condition shows only minimal wear and retains much of its original finish. Uncirculated or mint-state coins, on the other hand, have no signs of wear and often display a brilliant sheen. These are the most desirable for collectors and can command significantly higher prices. Part 6. Market value in 2024 USD. Alright, let's get to what everyone wants to know. The value of a 2005 Australian 10-cent coin in today's market, priced in US dollars. In average circulated condition, the coin is typically worth around $0, 25 to $0, 50 US dollars, which is already more than double its face value. When converted in very fine condition, the coin can sell for around $0, 75 to $1, 50 US dollars, especially if sold to a collector looking for that specific year. In uncirculated condition, with sharp details and full luster, the coin could fetch $2 to $4 US dollars, depending on demand. Proof or mint set versions of the 2005 coin, which were not intended for circulation and have a polished, mirror-like finish can be worth $5 to $10 or more, particularly if still sealed in original packaging. And finally, any error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or clipped planchets, can fetch $10, $20, or even more, depending on rarity and visual appeal. Part 7. Collector Tips, Final Thoughts. If you come across a 2005 10-cent coin, take a moment to examine it closely. Look for strong details on the queen's profile and the lyrebird's feathers. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for die cracks, doubling, or unusual shapes. You might be surprised to find a small minting flaw that significantly boosts its value. Also, remember that demand changes over time. That as coins age and fewer examples remain in good shape, values tend to increase. Holding onto a well-preserved 2005 10-cent coin could be a smart move if you're building a long-term collection. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 2005 Australian 10-cent coin may not be rare by mintage, but its elegant design, connection to Australia's monetary history, and potential for above-face value pricing make it a fascinating find. Whether you're collecting for fun, for investment, or just love Australian wildlife on coins, the lyrebird will always be a classic. Don't dismiss those small silver coins in your change. You never know what hidden value they might hold. Thanks for watching. And if you found this video helpful or interesting, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our deep dives into the fascinating world of coins. And let us know in the comments, do you have a 2005 10-cent coin? Have you found any cool errors or rare coins lately? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and happy treasure hunting.